Good evening to everybody. So this is the fourth. What is the fourth dimension of health? You must be knowing about so many dimensions like physical, mental, social. But what is the fourth dimension of health? I'll talk about that because very few people they know about this dimension of the health. First of all, I will clarify what is health. What is health? What is your opinion? What do you feel regarding health? Why I am telling? Why I am telling? In our hospital, many patients they come, and when I ask them, I see them very obese and very. What value do you see the gentlemen here like this? I ask them, um, you should take care of yourself. People say that, doctor, now I'm a little bit better, but previously I was more healthy. That means, is it a sign of health? Is it a sign of health? People feel that those who are very obese, they are healthy. When I ask them, your parents, your brothers, sisters, all are like you, like obese? Oh, everybody is healthy like me. So many people feel that obesity is a sign of health, but no. Fitness versus fatness. Those who are fit, they are never fat. And those who are fat, they are never fit. So fitness and fatness, they cannot become close companion. Becoming obese is not becoming healthy. It is a sign of disease. So what is health? So health, according to WHO defines health as it is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of a person, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. If somebody does not have any disease, that does not mean that he is healthy. To become completely healthy, one should have all these dimensions, physical, mental, and social. In these three aspects, he has to become healthy. Then only he is completely healthy. It is WHO's definition. To be physically healthy, who is physically healthy? If somebody is looking very strong and handsome or beautiful, muscular, it does not mean that he is healthy. To be healthy, his body weight should be normal. One should have ideal body weight according to our height, our weight. It should be our height in centimeter minus 100 should be the kilogram in our body weight. This is called ideal body weight. For females, it should be minus 105. Then only you know that you are maintaining your ideal body weight. Then your blood pressure should be normal, your temperature should be normal. Then you should have sound sleep. If you have 4 or 5 hours of undisturbed sound sleep, then you are healthy physically. Similarly, you should have good digestion power. Whatever you are eating, you are able to digest it. Then only you are healthy. And without any breathlessness, if you are working, running here and there, you can do all the physical works, then you are physically healthy. Similarly, mentally healthy, socially healthy, you must be knowing about all these things, but I will talk something about the fourth dimension of health. What is that? What is that fourth dimension of health? It is, in fact, the spiritual health. When I was in studying medicine, when it was in 70s, I am telling, when I was a student of medical college, at that time, the definition of health was, WHO's definition was, it is the complete physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being of a person, and not merely the absence of disease. But this spiritual dimension has been, I don't know what is the cause, it has been deleted. It has been omitted. But this is the most important aspect of our health. I can tell you, this is the most important aspect. If you are spiritually healthy, then only you'll become physically, mentally, socially healthy. But I don't know why people have deleted it. I can tell you, this is my experience. When I was student, I could understand what is physical, mental, and social health. But I could not understand the spiritual health. And I was asking my professors, what is spiritual health? I never got a satisfactory answer from anybody. But when I joined this Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University, I got the definition, I got the complete answer of it. That's why the modern...
Excuse me, brother.
Hello? Yes.
Excuse me. Could you talk
Yes.
a little bit slower, because we are translating in Hindi?
Okay, okay.
So they can keep up with the... Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, okay. So I was telling, when I was a student, I could not get the answer what is spiritual health. The complete definition of spiritual health, I understood when I joined Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. And I understood that this is really, in fact, it is the foundation of complete health. People do not know about this, much about this. That's why they have deleted, I hope. If somebody is spiritually healthy, he will become socially healthy. Because a spiritual man will have very good interpersonal relationship. He will experience the world as if it is a family. Everybody is his brother or sister. This world is a family, big family. God is our father, and this world is a family. That's why a spiritual man will be spiritual, socially healthy. He will never have any conflicts or anything with others. Always will have good relationship with others. Similarly, a spiritually healthy man will become emotionally healthy. If you look at the present world scenario, with small events, the emotions of the people fluctuate like anything. I have practically seen when I was a student in Mumbai, I was seeing. Now you'll be talking to a person, you'll feel as if he's your own family member. After a few minutes, if you meet, you'll experience as if he does not know you, does not recognize you. You see a person now, he will be laughing. After a few minutes, he'll be crying. There is mental swings all the time. So they are emotionally unstable person. They are not called emotionally stable. Those who are emotionally stable, they'll be always cool, calm, tranquil, cheerful, in spite of all the different events in the life. So a spiritual man can only become emotionally healthy. Similarly, physically healthy. If you are emotionally healthy, you are mentally healthy, naturally 90% the modern diseases are psychosomatic. If somebody is mentally unhealthy, it is reflected through different physical diseases, and we suffer from physical diseases. So if somebody is mentally or emotionally healthy, he will be definitely physically healthy. And if he is physically healthy, he can earn and he will become financially healthy. He'll become vocationally healthy, and he'll be intellectually healthy also. So in all respect, a spiritual healthy man will become completely healthy, physically, mentally, socially, intellectually, vocationally, in all respect. So in fact, spiritual health is the foundation of complete health. Foundation of complete health. But spiritual health regarding this, people, very little people, they know about this. It is the key to complete health. But what is spiritual health? What is spiritual health? Just like we define health as not only the absence of disease, but it is complete physical, mental, social well-being. Similarly, spiritual health is defined as it is not only the absence of vices, but it is a state of complete wisdom, virtues, and spiritual powers. If many people say that I don't have any vice in my life, it does not mean that People will say that, oh, I don't get angry. I do not shout on anybody. I don't have greed. It does not mean that he's spiritually healthy. Just like suppose somebody says, I don't have fever, I don't have blood pressure. It does not mean that he is physically completely healthy. Similarly, not having any vices is spiritual health. Not only the absence of vices, but a state of complete wisdom, virtues, and spiritual powers. It is called the spiritual health. All our senior dadis, Brahma Kumaris, I have seen them personally, how they are not only free from all these vices, but the wisdom they had, the virtues I saw, the spiritual powers I saw in them. Like our Dadi Janki, she was declared the most double-minded lady in the world, the Delta woman of the world. She was till 104 years. She was recognizing everybody. She had a very sharp memory. She was conducting classes for thousands of people. So they are the symbol of spiritually healthy. What is the spiritual of health? Spiritual health. So if somebody is spiritually healthy, spiritual well-being refers to our inner peace. If somebody is spiritually healthy, he will have inner peace, always cool, calm, peaceful. And our ability to create stillness of the mind at will. Whenever we want to stop thinking, yes, immediately we can stop. If we want to think, we can think. So we have the ability to create stillness of the mind. Those who have control over their mind, they can do only this. Otherwise, most of the people in the world, what do we see? Whenever there is a stressful situation, so many thoughts come to their mind. So many thoughts. They'll be thinking and thinking and thinking, and they'll be stressful. Their blood pressure, their blood sugar, their heart rate, everything will increase. A spiritually healthy man, he has the ability to create stillness of his mind at his will. And our capacity to radiate love from our heart into the world. And he will radiate the vibrations of love to the entire world. Because he will see this world as a family. So this is spiritual health. So a spiritually healthy man, what is the sign? How will you recognize that he is spiritually healthy? A positive and powerful mind with a loving and generous heart is the sign of a spiritually healthy man. Those who will be spiritually healthy, they will have a very positive and powerful mind. Always they will think positive. We developed stress and tension. Why? Most of the time, our mind thinks unnecessarily, negatively. That's why we are stressful. Somebody, if he thinks always positive and always powerful thoughts, will never have stress in his mind. So a spiritually healthy man will not have stress. A positive and powerful mind with a loving and generous heart, his heart will be as big as the ocean and will be generous and loving to everybody, full of love. So this is the sign of a spiritually healthy man. This aspect is lacking in most of the people today in the world. A person may become physically, mentally, socially healthy, but what about spiritual health? I see hardly people have this type of health, as I saw in our dadis, senior brothers of our Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. So spiritual well-being, a positive mind can experience the bliss of spirituality. Whenever our mind thinks negatively, we cannot experience blissful state. Bliss is extreme happiness, always cheerful, jolly, happy. So a positive mind can only experience. And most of the people today have negative mind, filled with worry, anxiety, frustration, anger, and it starts to starve our physical heart and relationships of the oxygen of love. A busy mind is always exhausted. And it will be reflected through our physicalization also. So a spiritually healthy man will have a positive and powerful mind with a loving and generous heart. Now, what is the basis of spiritual health? What is the foundation? How somebody can become spiritually healthy? How to remain? Everybody wants that my mind should be always positive, powerful, my heart should be always loving, generous, but people can't do it. Why? Because the basis they do not know. Unless you think that you are a soul, you are a immortal soul, a conscious divine energy who is controlling this body. This body is just a medium to express ourselves. But who am I? I'm a small, tiny point of light at the center of my head, in between the eyebrows. I'm a sparkling star. I'm a conscious energy. I'm a soul. And my Father is also a supreme light, a divine light. He is the supreme soul. With that consciousness, if somebody thinks that he is a soul and I am the child of my Father, supreme soul, he is also divine light, and this world is a family. And just like my Father, he is the world benefactor, I will also give love and blessings to everybody. And in this world, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, all these religions we have only created. God has no religion. Mahatma Gandhi, the national father of our country, he told, God has no religion. We only created all these religions and we divided this world into different fractions and we are fighting each other. A spiritual man will never have any boundaries. Religion is based on a philosophy which is limited to some group of people. Some rituals, some limited philosophy, confined to a group of people only. Whereas spirituality, it is universal, not limited to anything. And it is a science. Religion is not science. Religion is full of blind faith. That's why if you read the history of the world in the past, millions of people have died because of the conflicts and wars. Religions have divided this world into various fractions. But spirituality is universal and it does not have any boundary, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, anybody. To unite together all the world, including the animals, plants, nature, everybody. So those who will be spiritually healthy, will think that this world is a family and Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, hum sab aapas mein bhai bhai, we are all brothers. We are the children of God. We are not different. So with that mental attitude, if somebody has, then only he can become spiritually healthy. If somebody thinks that I am a soul, I am a divine light, conscious energy, I am the child of God, the Supreme Father, he is also light, divine light. This world is a family, and all of us, whoever, irrespective of age, sex, caste, creed, whoever is there in this world, we are all children of God. Then only somebody becomes spiritually healthy. So, how to achieve spiritual health? How to achieve? If you realize, unless you realize the true self, if you ask somebody, who are you? Immediately you get the answer. I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a businessman, I'm a mother, I'm so and so. We give the physical introduction of the introduction of the physical body. But in fact, this body is just made up of flesh and bones. And it is made up of 5 elements only. And it is just like a garment. But who is controlling this body. Inside our body, there is a divine light, and that light, that conscious light, somebody says soul. In different languages, different people have given different names, but it is a divine conscious energy. And the true self is that energy. Unless you realize that, yes, I am soul, I am looking through my eyes, listening through my ears, speaking through my mouth, and this body is just like a medium to express myself. If somebody does not realize this, he will never become spiritually healthy. And the soul has its basic attributes and original virtues. Everything, just like it is an energy, it is a power. Magnet has its own virtues, qualities. It attracts the iron. Every energy, heat energy, light energy, sound energy, these are the physical energy. We know the qualities of all these energy. When I read science, science explains all these qualities of this. Similarly, soul is also a conscious energy. And the modern medical science, very little they understand about this consciousness. It is only the spiritual science which clears all these myths of this conscious energy. So basically, I am a soul and I have 7 different qualities of my own. These are my inherent, the original qualities of myself. And I am knowledgeful. The things which we love, it is our own quality. I am knowledgeful. Knowledge everybody wants. Everybody likes to listen also, to know also. So knowledgeful, I am pure. Everybody loves a pure place, pure person. Purity everybody likes. So originally I am pure, clean, clear. And I am peaceful also. My original nature is peaceful. Everybody likes to remain peaceful. Nobody wants peacelessness. Similarly, I am lawful. Everybody likes that. Everybody should love me. So love, everybody likes. So I am basically, my nature is lawful, joyful, similarly blissful and powerful. If you little bit you feel weakness, immediately you consult a doctor. Doctor, please give me some vitamins or some tonics. I'm feeling little bit weak. So you ask for the doctor, consult your doctor. So everybody wants to remain powerful. So these are all basic qualities of the soul: knowledgeful, pure, peaceful, loveful, joyful, blissful, and powerful. So these are the basic nature of the soul. Why I am telling about this, just I will clarify again. The soul is healthy when it has all the basic virtues in full percentage. If we have all these virtues, 7 virtues in full percentage, then only we will say this soul is healthy. And a healthy soul with original nature, it radiates, it sparkles like a brilliant light. And it will have all the other divine virtues also, like accuracy, benevolence, courage, determination, egolessness, fearlessness. So many other divine virtues also will have. So when a soul is healthy, this physical health is a reflection. Physically also will be healthy. And at that time, this soul is full of all good qualities and divine virtues in our life. And at that time, the human being is considered as the perfect human being. So when the soul was healthy, once upon a time in this world, all of us were healthy, absolutely. The soul was absolutely healthy. We are perfect human beings in the world. And they are called deities. And with their remembrance, now also, if you come to India, you'll see there are millions of temples are there. Every village will have a temple. And people remember our forefathers, who were spiritually healthy, and they were perfect human beings with all divine virtues and full virtues. So they have kept their idols, their photographs, and still they are worshipping and remembering in India. In many countries also, but mostly if you go to every aspect, because the heaven was in India only. And it was golden age where all the people were perfectly healthy, physical, mental, social, and spiritually healthy. They are perfect human beings. So people still remembering. But in course of time, when we came into birth and death cycle, then the spiritual illnesses started coming. And the diseases affecting the spirit, the true self, they are called spiritual illnesses. And what are those spiritual illnesses? They are called vices. They are called vices. Absence or deformed states of the virtues of the self. When our original virtues we become deprived of all these virtues, or these virtues become deformed, deranged, then only we develop spiritual illnesses and diseases. And it is very similar. Darkness, if somebody asks you what is darkness, actually there is nothing like darkness. It is the absence of light. When you lack light, there is no light, at that time you see darkness. So darkness is nothing but the absence of light. Similarly, in medical science also, if there is some deficiency, there becomes diseases. When you lack iron in your body, you develop anemia. When there is no calcium in your body, then you develop osteoporosis. So deficiency leads to diseases. Similarly, today we see many people are fighting each other. And many people have greed, a lot of greed. These are all lack of virtues. The original nature, nobody likes that somebody will shout at you. If you also shout at somebody, you can't shout for 24 hours. After a few minutes, you become cool down again. So anger is not our original nature. And what is anger? Absence of peace, absence of tolerance. So all these good virtues, we slowly we deteriorated after birth and death cycle. And after many births, we are deprived of all these good virtues. Slowly we deteriorated. Everything, if you keep it, it does not remain in the perfect stage for a longer period of time. Everything slowly becomes new, from new to old. Similarly, when the soul lacks the virtues, then the vices started coming. So anger is nothing but the absence of peace or tolerance. Similarly, what is greed? Greed is nothing but the absence of contentment. So when you lack virtues, all these negativities started coming, and the soul the real self become unhealthy. And these negativities and these vices, because that we become demon. And initially we were deities, worship-worthy, full of all virtues. People are still remembering. But when we become deprived of all these virtues, then the vices came in our life and we become demon. And from deities to demon. And today's world, we see how people are fighting each other. This world from heaven, it has become hell now, because we are deprived of all these good virtues in our life, and for these negativities and vices, only this world has become hell. So, what are the diseases of the spirit, the soul? Lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego, laziness, fear. As I described you, the 7 good virtues of there are innumerable virtues of the soul, but the basic, most important 7 virtues I mentioned about: knowledge, purity, peace, love, joy, then bliss and power. Similarly, when we lost all these 7 virtues, just like when there is no light, darkness comes. Similarly, different virtues we we become deprived of that. Then for that, all these 7 negativities came to the soul: lost, anger, greed, attachment, ego, laziness, and fear. And these are really the diseases of the soul. So virtues versus vices. So when you started the deficiency of knowledge, then we developed attachment in our life. If you have read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the stories of Mahabharata, Arjuna is a character. He was at the mid of the war. He became very much tense, upset, and he sat down. He told to God, God, I can't fight. I'm trembling. I can't do anything. And at that time, he had a lot of attachment for the people with whom he was going to fight. So God gave him knowledge, and he became Nastamaha, free from attachment, and he started doing his job. तो जब अर्जुन को मोह ने घेर के रखा था, उन्होंने युद्ध करने के लिए बिल्कुल मना कर दिया, लेकिन भगवान जब उसको ज्ञान दिए, कहा हे प्रभु मैं नष्ट मोह हो गया, स्मृति लब्ध हो गया, अभी मैं मेरा कर्तव्य जुट जाऊंगा. So knowledge dispels attachment. If you have full knowledge, there won't be any attachment in your life. Similarly, when you have purity, full purity, there won't be any loss. When you have peace, there won't be any anger. When there will be love, then there won't be ego. If you have love, if you love somebody, you can't show your ego to him. And similarly, you have joy, you will not have greed. Whatever people are greedy, they are accumulating more and more and more, so that people have good bungalows, good car, and they will enjoy, and they will become joyful. That's why they are greedy. So if you have joy in your life, the greed will vanish. Similarly, if somebody is blissful, there won't be any laziness. If always enthusiastic, zeal and enthusiasm, why he'll become lazy? And if somebody has power, he will not have fear also. So all these virtues, when the basic virtues of the soul, when we become deficient of all these things, then all 7 vices came to our life. And when virtues are deformed, vices again arise. That's why the vices are called, in Hindi, they are called vikar. Vikrut hua, bigda hua. When something is deformed, it is called vikar. So all these good virtues also, they become deformed. Like from where this lost came, this is the deformed. I was explaining, when you lack this virtue of appreciation, then we should appreciate and we should acknowledge, we should accumulate the treasures of knowledge, then the virtues and powers and all these things. But instead, we become greedy of the physical things, physical matter. Similarly, when we become deficient of the caring, the virtues of caring, we should be caring to each other. But when we become deficient, then the attachment started coming. We had caring nature, there was no attachment, but this caring became deformed and we started having attachment. Then self-esteem is a virtue, but when this was deformed, then the ego started coming. Ego started coming, and when we should be always easy in nature, but this easiness become again laziness, and we should respect each other, but now it has become deformed and it has become fear. So these are all good virtues, they become deformed, and all these vices they have developed. So vices started coming when we are deprived of deficiency of all good virtues, or the virtues they become deformed. Then only this started coming. So what are the complications? If you have this type of negativities or vices, these are called the spiritual diseases, then what will happen? The complications will be, if we see the present world, what is happening? Because of the sex lost, there are so many rape, murders, heart attack. Do you know, if somebody is having heart problem and he indulges himself into sex lust, he develops heart attack and many people die. Even if you look at the lower animals also, if you have read biology, zoology, you'll come to know that soon after the sex lust, the male partners usually die. So this happens in human beings also. If somebody has some heart problem and he indulges himself into lust, then he dies. So rape, murder, heart attack, and when somebody is having anger, if you look at the war and massacre, what is happening? So because just because of anger, millions and millions of people are dying. If somebody becomes full of with anger, he just puts a button on, what will happen? There will be atomic war and the world will be totally finished. So anger is such a great disease. So I was telling, when somebody is suffering from greed, he adulterates, he has crores of money, but still people are doing all corruptions and adulteration and whatnot. And if somebody is having attachment, a mother has attachment for his kids, and he will not allow, particularly in India, I can tell you, all the mothers they are so crazy. They do not allow the children to go outside for study and higher study and all these things. So what happened? What will happen? There will be less of progress, less of lack of development. So attachment, if somebody has attachment with somebody, he will not separate for a moment also. Always think that, yes, I'll be with him. So this attachment, for that, there will be lack of progress and development. And with ego, ego is the root cause of all sufferings today. And people become revengeful. They commit murder also. They do murder also. So it is also a disease. And similarly, the laziness. If somebody is lazy, he must be having so many virtues, so many qualities in him, but it is of no use because he will not do anything. There won't be any progress. There won't be any development. And if somebody is fearful again, he can't make any decision. And with fear, he'll be revengeful also. So these are the different spiritual illnesses. And for that, the complication we see in the present world, what is happening. So in the present, we are all spiritually unhealthy. We have all if it is not in the full form, there will be traces of, suppose like anger. If somebody has very mild anger, he will have irritation inside him. He will not say anything to anybody, but he will be irritated all the time. If anger is little more, then he may shout at somebody. If still more, then he can slap somebody. And still more, he may kill somebody. So different degrees of these vices, we see the different complications in the world. And the personal, if you look at for our own personal life also, and in a family life also, social life also, in the world also, we see the different complications. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it has been mentioned, Kamat sanjayate krodha, krodhat bhavati sanmoha, sanmohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhransat buddhinasah, buddhinasat pranasyati. What is the meaning? The lust actually generates anger. And from anger, the attachment starts booming up. And from attachment, then people have lack of memory. Their memory is disturbed. And when their intellect and memory is deranged, then there will be the intellect will fail and ultimately he will die. So the lost ultimately ends with death. So this is the repercussion. And in modern science also, we have realized now how the original virtues of the soul, they affect the different physical systems. If somebody is knowledgeful, his nervous system, they work very perfectly. We have seen our Dadi Janki ji at the age of 104 also. She was so knowledgeful. All the nervous system, the memory was so sharp, because all the time she'll be churning knowledge and she'll be distributing this jewels of knowledge to others. That's why her nervous system was so good. And similarly, if somebody is pure, the original virtues I'm telling, if somebody is pure, all these sense organs, they will work accurately. And if somebody is peace, his breathing system will be 100% absolutely all right. When you become angry, what happens? Your breathing becomes very fast. You start angry man, how he breathes, But if somebody is very peaceful, his breathing system also becomes very slow. So this peace affects our this respiratory system and it becomes healthy. Similarly, if somebody is loveful, then his circulatory system, the heart becomes very nice, healthy. That's why we always symbolize this love as heart. If somebody says that I love you, he makes a picture of heart, not the picture of a kidney. If somebody does not draw a kidney and says I love you, we symbolize love as our heart. So if somebody is very loveful, he will never have a heart attack with somebody. People have hatred, then revengeful, then jealous. That's why they have heart attack and all these problems. So if somebody is very loveful, his heart will always, circulatory system will function very properly. And somebody is joyful, his digestive system becomes very nice. How? When you are sad, what happens? You have a lot of acidity, anxieties, worries in your mind, you are depressed, you are sad. Then there are a lot of acidity, there will be gastritis, gastric erosion, ulcer, all these things. If somebody is always happy, cheerful, joyful, then what will happen? His digestive system will become very nice, good. And similarly, if somebody is blissful, extreme happy, his body immunity becomes very strong. His endocrine system will work very nicely. The germs, viruses cannot attack easily. So if somebody is blissful, he cannot suffer. If somebody is always cheerful, always happy, then his blood pressure, his blood sugar will never rise. Today, in the modern world, we are all anxious, full of anxiety, depression, tension. That's why we have all these diseases. And if somebody is powerful, naturally, his musculoskeletal system will also be very powerful. So all these divine virtues of the soul, the original divine virtues of the soul, how they are affecting our physical system, So if somebody will be spiritually healthy, naturally he'll be physically healthy also. So spiritual health is the door to complete health. And what are the causes of spiritual disease? The most important thing is body consciousness. We have forgotten that we are soul, we are spirits. That's why we become body consciousness.
शरीर समझते हैं तो ये आध्यात्मिक बीमारियां पैदा होती हैं, यानी आध्यात्मिक बीमारियों का कारण
देह अभिमान है, body consciousness. So how to attain spiritual health? Healthy, the terminology has come from two words, heal plus die. Heal plus die. You have your own healing power. You can heal yourself. And how? Meditation is an art of positive thinking and the basis of spiritual health. If you always think positively, you heal yourself. And meditation is an art of positive thinking. A positive mind heals whereas a negative mind kills. Somebody is committing suicide. What for? He has all the negative thinking in his mind. That's why he commits suicide himself. He kills himself. So a negative mind kills, whereas a positive mind heals. When you have always positive thoughts in your mind, then all your physical, all organs, all systems, they start healing. And you boost your immunity. This is the modern medicine also says like this. So meditation is a art of positive thinking, and it makes your mind positive and powerful. When mind is free from worries and tension, you sleep naturally. Sleep naturally. Even if you do not sleep also, still you don't feel tired. You feel refreshed. So a spiritually healthy man, he needs very little sleep. Hardly few hours, 2-3 hours, 4 hours sleep, more than sufficient. People have never seen the founding father of Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University, Prajapita Brahma Baba. They have never seen him sleeping. He'll just for relax for few hours. That's all. So if somebody's mind is free from all these worries, anxiety, tension, always having positive thinking and powerful thinking, naturally the quality of sleep improves. And do you know, if your sleep is disturbed, you develop so many diseases. So a sound and undisturbed sleep is a must for good health. This is science today. All the scientists, they realize. And so what is the spiritual medicine now? To overcome all these spiritual illnesses, the spiritual medicine, mind and body influence each other. And even if the body is diseased, a strong mind with medication can overcome its influence. It is very similar to a car and a driver. If driver is unqualified and his disease, naturally he will meet some accident somewhere. Even if the vehicle is a little bit weak or something like that, but the driver is powerful, he can drive anyway, he can manage it. But if your car is very good, but the driver is very raw, he does not know anything, he is sick, naturally you'll meet accident. Similarly, this body and soul, it has relationship like the car and the driver. So if the mind is good, the mind is strong and powerful, then even if the body, you have many diseases, then you can overcome it, you can control it, and you will be free from its influence. So the miracle of meditation. So meditation, if you practice it, meditation is medication. Just like you take some tablets, some pills, some injections for physical ailments. These are the physical drugs available today in the market. The spiritual diseases, you cannot see like other physical diseases, but they are very subtle. But the medicine also is very subtle. It is meditation. And if you practice meditation, your mind will be very immune to all these external influences and always remain peaceful. And if you practice meditation, your intellect will become divine, powerful, and clear. And the heart will become loving and generous towards everyone. You'll experience that this world is my family. You'll not have jealousy, hatredness, or revengeful, greed, attachment. All these vices will vanish. And ultimately the life will be contented and happy. So today, most of the people, they have the spiritual illnesses. And if somebody sincerely learns meditation and he inculcates all these virtues of the self, the true self, and free from all negativities, then naturally his own personal life become peaceful, blissful, happy, joyous, cheerful, always have a good quality of mind, peaceful state of mind, tranquility in life. and his personal life, family life, social life, everything improves. And he will become physically healthy, mentally healthy, socially healthy, and he will be complete healthy. So meditation is the medication. Learn meditation, a revolutionary technology to a happier, fulfilled, and stress-free life. So this is regarding spiritual health. So today we should realize that this anger, attachment, greed, this laziness, fear, all these are also diseases. People do not realize that these are diseases. These are very, very important diseases. We should understand about this, and we should be free from all these diseases. And for that, we have the only medication, that is called meditation. So learn meditation and you'll see the difference in your life. I am sharing my experience. When I started my journey of this medical profession, it was 35 years before, when I joined a district headquarters hospital, just fresh from the medical college. I was knowing something about the physical disease only. I became, because every day 200, 300 patients I'll be disposing in the OPD. People come, they will shout, they will behave in a very different way. I was thinking that I will develop high blood pressure or heart attack in no time. I'll become mad. And I was absolutely stressful. During that period, I came in contact with Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. And our sisters, they taught me positive thinking. They taught me meditation. In just 1 month span of time, my entire life changed. My behavior with the people drastically changed. And in the same atmosphere, I could work, and I became the most popular doctor in that hospital. After so many years, after 30 years also, people are remembering me. Still they are telephoning me. So this is my personal, being a doctor, I am telling you today, we are all spiritually ill. We have to become spiritually healthy. This is the missing dimension of the health. This is the fourth dimension of the health. And in fact, it is the foundation of complete health. Unless we become completely healthy, then what is the purpose of life? If you are always sick and you are diseased, then the charm of life is finished. So to enjoy the quality of life, become completely healthy, and spiritual health is the door to the complete health. This is the message of today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sahu. And now we will open for any questions. If anybody has any question, they can put it on the chat box, or they can open mic and ask any questions. Brother, we have one question. Should one continue living with a spirituality diseased person while they do not make any attempt to better themselves, while they blame all those around them, while the children are getting affected?
I could not follow the question. I could not get it.
They're basically asking how can they live with someone who is spiritually diseased. So if you have any suggestions.
It is only spiritual knowledge and meditation. These are the two things, the tools for spiritual, these are the medicines. Spiritual knowledge. First, to learn meditation also, you have to be knowledgeable. What is spiritual knowledge? It is entirely different from the worldly knowledge available today in the libraries and the school, colleges, it is taught. Spiritual knowledge is knowing the self, knowing the Supreme Father, knowing this world, what reality it is, and what is the law of karma, why people are suffering, why somebody is happy, why somebody is unhappy, and the virtues and vices, complete knowledge of all these things. If somebody acquires this spiritual knowledge and practices meditation, he inculcates all these virtues in him, then he can transform these virtues and powers to others also. And he can transform the entire world also. God is telling, I am such a powerful light, you just connect to me, you'll receive tremendous power from me. You can transform not only you, but you can transform the entire world. So if you recollect, I recollect Swami Vivekananda. He has told a meditator after meditation, he experiences as if he can engulf the entire ocean. He can shake the Himalayan. Such tremendous power and energy he receives from God. So once you have spiritual wisdom, knowledge, that's why Brahma Kumari is a world spiritual university. You have to get into contact and know all these spiritual wisdom knowledge. Then you practice meditation and you'll see the difference in your life. You can transform yourself, transform others. Your whole family will be totally changed. You can change this society and you'll have a very good quality of life. Always cheerful, blissful, happy, joyous, and whatnot. And this is my experience as a doctor. I'm telling you, this is the need of the hour. We must be spiritually healthy. Then only we can become physically, mentally, and socially healthy.
Thank you.
I will share some few minutes how to meditate. Many people, they do not know how to create. Actually, thoughts, there are two types of thoughts. One type of thoughts, they naturally come to our mind. And thoughts we can create also. And it is said that empty mind is a devil's workshop. If you think positively, naturally, other thoughts will not come to your mind. A person when becomes stressful, so many negative thoughts, they come to their mind and they cannot overcome it. If somebody has a natural habit of creating positive thoughts in the mind, he can easily overcome those thoughts. So meditation is an art of powerful and positive thinking. We'll think just for a few minutes, we'll create some positive thoughts in our mind. So in meditation, Raj Yoga meditation, what is taught, our sisters, they teach, they will guide you initially how to create positive thoughts in your mind. Once there is nothing to mug, there is nothing to cram. You will be able to create of your own thoughts very positively, and it will become a natural habit in your life, so that your entire whole life will be transformed. So now we'll have few minutes of meditation. Just sit relaxed, but alert. Should not feel drowsy. You should be alert, but relaxed. And I will give some thoughts to your mind. You just think what I'm telling. You just visualize it and realize it and think it and experience it. Meditation is not only thinking, it is experiencing. So let us have a few minutes of meditation. Om Shanti. The meaning of Om Shanti is, I am a peaceful soul. Just a few minutes. Let us stop all these worldly thoughts coming to our mind. I will take all of you into a inner journey. All of us will go within. Go within and ask yourself, in fact, who am I? Millions and millions of people are taking birth in this world every day. And millions of people are also living this world. I also came to this world one day. One day I have to also leave this world. In fact, who am I? From where I had come and where I'll go. This body, as a child, it was very small. Slowly started growing. I have become adult. One day I will become old. And this body, one day it will perish. And people will declare that I am dead. This body is made up of 5 elements only. But who is controlling this body? Inside my body, in fact, I am a conscious being, a conscious point of light, a divine point of light. I am staying in the center of my brain, in the midbrain. And this surface marking is at the center of my forehead, in between the 2 eyebrows. I am sitting there, but I am controlling the entire body. And originally being an energy, I am imperishable, indestructible, immortal. This body is perishable, mortal. But I am beyond birth and death. I am always there. Just like I change my garments, once this body becomes old, I discard it. Again, I take a new one. This world is a big drama stage. All of us, we are acting here. We are actors. And our Father, He is also a divine light like us. My Father, the Supreme Soul God, is full of virtues, powers, and knowledge. Being the child, I am also originally knowledgeable, pure, powerful, peaceful. I am a peaceful soul. I am a pure soul. This is my original nature. In fact, this world and all of us, we are knowledgeable, pure, peaceful. This world was heaven. Slowly, after repeated birth and death, we forgot that we are souls. This world is a drama. We forgot our Father. And this world become today hell. Because we are deprived of our own virtues, qualities, knowledge, and power. We are fortunate. In stage, our Father has again come to give this complete spiritual knowledge and wisdom and fill up with all divine powers. This world will again become heaven. Just experience I am a sparkling star at the center of my forehead. I am a divine point of light. I am peace. I am pure. I am radiating this vibration to my surroundings. This world is a big family. Everybody is my spiritual brother and sister. I am peaceful. I am loveful. And I am powerful. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So this type of thoughts, the sister will guide you, and once you start creating this type of thoughts, you'll experience also this, and you'll see there will be transformation in your behavior, your words, your actions, your relation, everything will change slowly. Thank you very much.